Today we're going to take a look at a tool that makes it extremely easy for us to clean, analyze, and visualize our data from multiple different sources. We're going to start with a simple CSV document full of errors, inconsistencies, and formatting issues that lies on our Google Drive. Our AI data analyst will pull it from there, clean it automatically, then also get a new data set, a related data set from a Postgres database, combine it so it can perform queries across these data sets, and finally it's going to produce a visually appealing report with all the insights that we gathered. Now, of course, this is a very simple example. You can include many more data sources and triggers, but that's what we're going to build today. This video today is about the AI data analyst Julius AI, and if you like this video, let me know by hitting a like button and subscribing. But now let us get right into it. Alright, so we're going to take a look at Julius AI in this video today. It's the AI data analyst, basically a tool, a platform, an agent, an assistant, whatever you want to call it, that allows you to chat with your data from multiple different data sources. The USP here is the data connectors. You can connect this to a Postgres database, to Google Drive, to many different data sources. We're going to take a look at this here. And essentially, you can just chat with your data, you can combine the data, you can query across different data sources, and then you can export visually appealing reports and charts and everything without having to write a single line of code. You can also connect this to Slack. You can also work with notebooks here. This is what we're going to cover in this video today. Now, I need to mention here for the sake of transparency that they're sponsoring this video. So this is a sponsored integration, but I think this tool is very interesting, so I recommend you stick around. So what is our use case for this video today? Quite simple. We have this messy customer's CSV file in our Google Drive. When I open it, we can see it's full of issues, full of inconsistent formatting. We have the ID column, which is important for joining it with the Postgres data later on. But besides that, when we look at the name, the email, the dates, the revenue, everything is kind of messy. We have sometimes a dollar sign, sometimes not. We have missing data. We have false, true, Y, yes, no, N. We have different date formats. We have different casing here for the region. So this data is completely messy. We're going to pull it into Julius AI. It's going to automatically clean it. And then we have the second part, which is our Postgres database. For this, I have a server where I'm running a Docker Compose setup. It doesn't really matter what the setup is. You can use any Postgres database on Amazon, on Google, on your own server. However, in my case here, I'm using a simple script. I just say Docker Compose up. This is going to run the database. It's going to fill it with artificial data connected to this CSV document. So to show you that, I can go into the container. I can connect to the Postgres database with the password, and then I can run a simple select everything from customers statement. And when I run this, you can see here we have the customer ID, first name, last name, gender, job title, birth date. So stuff that is not part of the CSV, at least not all of it. And we're going to connect these two data sets so we can perform queries like what is the revenue generated by people that have a certain gender or job title. As I said, this is just an example setup, so you don't have to do exactly what I did. However, if you want to save time, if you don't want to come up with your own setup, I'm going to provide you with a Docker Compose file, the Python script, as well as the CSV file in my GitHub. So just check out the link in the description down below. Below the Julius link, you will find a link to the code. But in general, it's just a Postgres database running on port 5432 with the user Postgres, the password secret, and the database Julius demo. So now you either replicate my setup or you create your own. The important thing if you want to work with Postgres and Drive is you need to have a Drive folder where you have some data, and you need to have a Postgres database where you can connect to with an IP, with a host name, with a password and a username. And besides that, of course, feel free to extend this however you like. You have BigQuery here, you have MCP, you have MySQL, you have many different data connectors that you can use here, but we're going to focus today on Google Drive for the CSV file and Postgres for the additional data set. So let's start by setting up Google Drive. I'm going to go to Data Connectors, down here to Google Drive, which is an integration. I'm going to connect to my Neural 9 account here. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue again by giving this permission, and now it has access to my Google Drive. Second step is we're going to go to Data Connectors, down here to Postgres, and now we're going to name this, for example, Julius DB. I'm going to enter Postgres here as user, secret as password, then the IP address of my server. You need to know this one, of course. In my case, it's this one, and the port, which is the default 5432. The database, as we said, is Julius _ demo, and that's basically it. Then I can say add connection. It's going to try to connect. It's going to hopefully succeed. And then we have this connection set up as well. There you go, connection successfully enabled. And now we can use both of these in the same chat. So let us start by connecting to Google Drive and picking our file. We're going to go here to data source and messycustomers.csv. I'm going to select this file. It's going to be loaded in here. Now I can say, take a look at this file. It's full of inconsistencies, errors, and formatting issues. Clean it, please. So now it starts thinking and working through this file, and it's going to give us as a result now a cleaned version of that file. There you go. It identifies multiple issues. It tells us that there's a problem with inconsistent capitalization, with the regions, with different date formats, with dollar signs, inconsistent formattings, multiple formats here, what we just saw when we looked at the file ourselves. And there you go. It's done with the cleaning. It summarizes down here what exactly it did for the individual columns. It gives us a download link to the file. It also shows us here a preview, so we can see now everything seems to be formatted correctly. We have true, false. We have the orders as numbers. We have the revenue just as floats without any symbols. We have a unified date format. Everything seems to be cleaned. Now, the cool thing is, as you can see here, it wrote a lot of code. I didn't have to care about this code at all. If I'm someone who doesn't know how to code or doesn't want to code, I can just let it do its thing and then maybe say if something didn't work the way it was expected to work. But also I can edit the code as a coder, as someone who knows what's happening here. If I want to change something, I can just do it manually and be the human in the loop here in the coding process if necessary. In this case, it worked without that. Now, I'm not going to download the dataset here. I'm going to connect a Postgres database to enhance the existing data and then query across both datasets. So I'm going to click the plus here. I'm going to go to Julius DB. So this is going to load the Julius database here into this chat. And now before I start querying, I want Julius AI to familiarize itself with the database. This is one thing about Julius AI. The longer you chat with it, the more data you add and the more context it has, the better it becomes. So the longer you interact with it on the same data, the more it knows about you. Now it already knows that there's a customers table here with different columns, but I'm going to say now, familiarize yourself with the customers table in the Postgres database. So as you can see, it starts querying the database. It looks at the tables. It loads them here as context. So I can also explore this myself if I want to. And at some point, it's done with the analysis. It tells me that there are 200 customers and this is the data that we have here. So now it knows what it's about. Let's try to combine the data sources. So I say now combine the data sources, join them on the customer ID, and visualize for me how much revenue was generated by males versus females. So by male gender versus female gender. And if I send this now, it's going to combine the two data sources and query across them. And now it's done. So we see here total revenue, female revenue, male revenue, and also we have some visualization. So we have a bar chart here, and we also have a pie chart with the distribution. Super cool. And now we can take this a step further. First of all, I want to have also the distribution by occupation. But second of all, I would like to have all of this exported as a PDF document. So I will say now, awesome, do the same thing for the different occupations, then gather all the results, charts, and insights and export them to a PDF document as a detailed report. All right, so it took some time, but now we have the finished report. I'm just going to download the PDF document, and now I'm going to take a look at it. There you go, customer revenue analysis report, comprehensive analysis of customer data, executive summary. So we have some text here. Of course, we could instruct it to do some better formatting, also for the graphs maybe. But essentially, we have here the male-female split. We have the distribution also in a pie chart. We have the split here by occupations. Now, as I said, if I just instructed to use tight layout or something and to make sure we have some more padding, it could do that. I don't want to waste the time now to show you that. But basically, we have here the top 10 job titles by average revenue per customer. So these are the averages. These are the totals. And down here, we have also the distribution by occupation, then a table. So there you go. Also top insights. We could also ask for some calls to action, some action steps that should be taken. But yeah, so this is one or two prompts removed from actually being a very solid report that you can send to some department. And as I said, this is useful for coders and for non-coders. As you saw, I didn't have to code at all. If I wanted to adjust something myself, I could have done it by just going into the code myself, editing it, and then running it again. So that is super convenient. And as I said, the USP here, the most important part is the data connectors. You can connect this to many different services here, many different data sources, and you can query across them. You can aggregate the data from multiple sources and then work with them together in a single workflow. So as I said, you will find a link in the description down below to Julius AI if you want to try it out yourself. You can also use some free credits so you don't have to pay in order to use it. And I recommend you do that right now. So that's it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned something. If so, let me know by hitting a like button and leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to check out Julius AI. It's the first link in the description down below. The second link will also take you to my GitHub repository with a code where you can replicate this entire setup if you want to. This is optional, but Julius AI is the first link. Make sure to check them out. And besides that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss a single future video for free. Other than that, thank you much for watching. See you in the next video, and bye.